Hello, everyone, and welcome back as always. We're back again.
Hi.
So I hope you all had a wonderful Halloween.
Yes.
We're going to be watching The Shining today.
Wow.
Do you guys know anything about The Shining? I'm sure you know.
All I
certain
know
things.
is scary. That's all. I don't know
You know,
anything
it's
about
scary.
it.
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, Jack Nicholson. Yeah. He's,
Here's
He was in it.
I saw
Johnny.
pictures.
We know
Yeah.
that.
Never
No.
saw it. I
No.
know it's been on TV a few times with Wookie. He's seen it. And I've always run out of the room like I'm not watching anything scary, so I never sat down to watch it. I know some references from it from other cartoons and shows, and I know there's Red Rum. I always hear Red Rum, you know. And I know it's scary, so hopefully there's no jump
Stephen
scares
King
in
wrote
it.
it.
Stephen King, big name.
Okay.
So it's crazy we're actually
Yeah.
watching a Stephen King movie.
Oh, wow.
He writes a whole lot of books that I never read because I get too nervous, but...
And he lives in Maine, and Mom has a Maine sweatshirt
Yes.
on.
Oh, how sweet!
That's
Yeah.
Mom's.
Yeah,
Mom
good.
thought that
That's
through.
much
That's
like
awesome.
that.
Very
Very
thoughtful.
Not from the Allagash, but I think he lives
Hey,
in
what the
Bangor.
heck?
I guess we're just going to get into this. I know it's a long movie. We did see references to this in Ready Player One. Do you remember that movie with the video game stuff, the virtual reality?
Yeah, but what
Yeah.
part?
There was a part where they were trying to find one of the clues and they went through that haunted hotel or something.
Yeah, I know
okay,
this is
yeah.
from a,
Yeah, so it was from
he's
that,
like a
I think.
caretaker in a
Yeah.
hotel
Okay.
or something.
Are you ready? Are you scared?
Oh, God.
Of course we are.
Dusty
Of course.
Buns! I love this
And,
outfit.
Walt.
So great.
Yeah.
I love
got
Stranger
Walt's hat
Things so
on.
much. Yeah,
Mom's a
I know,
pirate.
Walter. And Mom's a pirate.
Yes.
I don't want to go there, Mrs. Torrance.
What?
Well, how come you don't want to go?
I want to go.
I just don't.
My predecessor in his job killed his family with an axe.
Oh my god.
In one of the rooms of the West Wing, and then he...
Weird.
He's gonna phone Wendy up in a few minutes to tell her.
It's almost like a kid having a stuffed animal.
Yeah, just the way he does the
That's
voice
right.
is like
Yeah.
demonic. Oh my god.
Oh, right.
It's not
God.
normal. Oh, yeah, this
Oh,
is, we
now
saw this
you-
on Ready Player One. Something similar, right? Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
those girls that died.
Hi. Okay. Oh, he sees
No,
something. I'm
no,
like, what's
no.
building up?
Yeah.
It's the girls again?
How'd you like some ice cream, Doctor?
Huh?
Is there something bad here?
I think a lot of things happened right here, and not all of them was good.
Great.
Yeah.
What about room 237?
When I came up here for my interview, it was as though I'd been here before. I mean,
Okay, it's like, that's weird.
Okay.
It's so crazy that he's doing that in this hotel.
Yeah, right.
You're gonna
Bunch of
break the lights.
chandeliers.
Oh my god.
God.
7 writer's block.
Weird. Good luck getting out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
That would take forever.
It's
Tuesday!
Oh, my God.
How to keep you on edge. That was funny.
Uh-oh, 237.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ugh.
He's like, I'm
Oh,
drawn
see,
to it.
yeah, see.
You tell me no, I must go in.
That's right.
Tony's telling me to do it.
distracting me.
Oh.
Then taking time.
Oh my god.
Oh, right.
You'll hear me typing.
Ooh, yeah, no.
Why don't you start right now and get the fuck out of here?
Ooh.
My god,
My
that's
gosh.
totally 360. Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is going crazy.
Look at him.
Ew. He's so good at that. Oh, that is so weird. I can't even look at it like that's gonna it's freaking me out.
Get the shirt.
Ooh.
Oh, that.
Oh, god.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, he's seeing visions now.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I doubt that was Dad.
Oh, the
Oh,
girls.
what the-
I'd be like,
I know, a brave kid.
I'd say go the other way.
Those are your lottery numbers. Use those.
237.
Yeah, with the mirrors,
Mama.
too.
237. Oh, no, don't go in there.
Your blood.
Oh,
oh,
my
Oh.
gosh. Oh.
Ooh.
Second
Oh.
son.
What happened to your neck?
Holy crap.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
This is all
Between
freaky.
both of them.
Oh my god.
Okay, take him and go. Take him and go.
A little slow tonight, isn't it?
He's pretending there's a bartender. Oh my god.
Okay.
He's drinking ghost alcohol.
That's right.
Yeah, he's gonna feel it and go back.
Mm-hmm.
He's seeing all the horror.
Seeing what happened to Danny.
Seeing the future.
He sees it.
Yeah, there, yeah.
Oh, is that like a seizure?
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, look at it.
Tony's taking over.
Oh, wow.
It's so creepy.
Whoa.
Hello, come join me. Oh, she's gonna be bleeding or something weird.
Nice, yeah. Whoa, look at. Oops.
She's not even moving. Only
No,
he's
no,
moving.
she's not.
Heck.
Shut that door and throw away that key.
Oh my gosh.
Don't keep the key there.
237. Stay out of there. Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's so freaky too.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this poor kid.
Red
Yeah.
rum. Ooh, creepy.
Oh my
God.
gosh, the poor kid. Oh, jeez.
Good evening, Mr. Torrance.
All ghosts.
Yeah.
Can I get a drink now?
Hi, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Lloyd.
Do you have my bourbon?
Your money's no good here.
Just your soul.
Orders from the house.
Grady, sir. Dealt with Grady.
Oh, Grady.
Hmm.
Is that the old caretaker?
Married man, are you, Mr. Grady?
Yes, sir. I have a wife and 2 daughters, sir. My girls, sir, they didn't care for the Overlook at first. But I corrected them, sir.
Oh.
Red rum? Who's saying that?
He's in his bedroom.
Oh, it's a kid. He's such a good man to
Yeah,
travel that
yeah.
far to go back and check on
Especially
them. He
on
doesn't
his
even
time
know
off.
them.
I'm just gonna go and talk to Daddy for a few minutes,
Oh boy.
and I'll be right back.
Famous last words.
I
Yeah.
want you to just stay here.
Don't mess it up.
All work and no
And no
play,
play
makes Jack a dull boy.
boy. Oh, I've heard that quote before. Ooh. Wow, it's all typed like it's an actual book. Like all the, oh.
Holy
Whoa.
He's watching
Oh.
you. Get that and
I'm just
run.
not sure sometimes. You have to listen.
Oh, yes.
Said, I'm not gonna hurt you.
You're right.
Then back off.
Bash your brains.
Down.
Holy crap. Just turn and
Come on,
run. Turn and run.
Oh, shit.
Hit him. Hit him again.
There you go.
Good.
There you
Hit him
go.
again.
Good. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Sorry,
Good.
Jack.
Good. He's gonna get back
Look
up.
at it.
He's gonna get back up again. I know
Oh, he's
he
going to
is.
get pissed.
Oh,
Here he
boy.
comes.
What are you doing?
Hurry up. Shut the door and lock it.
Lock it. Good.
I fear you will have to deal with this matter in the harshest possible way, Mr.
Oh, in the harshest possible way.
Yeah.
He's unlocking the door.
He's gonna write red rum.
Yeah.
Oh, murder.
Oh my god.
Holy crap.
Oh my God, that was a warning.
The
Oh
hatchet.
my god. Look at the snow out there too. How
Yeah.
Oh my
all the
God,
way up
slide it
that
down.
high.
Yeah, she won't go get it. Oh, rather had them out there than with it
She's
in the
she'll be able to
get through.
Come on, sweetheart. Open up just a skosh
Yes,
more, baby.
Oh, crying out loud. No.
Ah. There's no coming back from that.
Crap.
Oh,
Here's Johnny.
oh my
Oh,
Johnny.
god. Oh god.
Stop it.
Oh, good.
It's like Jurassic Park all over again.
Oh my gosh, am I right?
Oh no, now he's there for his little.
Oh my god, why is this so bad?
He's out in the open. This isn't
Yeah, I hope
good.
nothing happens to him too. Oh, good.
Oh
No, don't say hello.
Wow. He doesn't know yet though.
Yeah, but I hope
The door was-
not. My god.
To go all this way.
Oh, right. Oh, right in the heart. Oh my God.
God.
Why did you come out?
So why did he run out?
Now for?
You know, yeah, he heard him die.
He can outrun him.
Yeah.
Ew, what the heck?
Ew.
What?
Ah! Oh my God! Don't go in there, honey. He can track you.
No, not
He's gonna follow your prints.
No, here we go. Oh God. No.
She could gem the hotel.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Oh, now they're all coming.
Grady, yeah.
Oh, smart kid! Look at him. He's
Oh,
matching
okay.
up his footprints.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Holy crap!
It's just a vision.
All the years.
Although we've seen a lot of
Oh
physical
my God! This
stuff.
poor
yeah.
girl is gonna have a heart attack. She's just.
Hopefully the prints don't just stop
Yeah.
a few feet away.
Oh, they do. God
They
darn it!
do,
He didn't think
yeah.
about that.
That's right. Oh, jeez.
But Daddy has footprints too.
I
So.
love it when
I
it's
don't know what they're doing.
surprise.
He's gonna come out. He's gonna come out.
Oh my God.
Don't you
threw
drop
the
this
knife?
No, don't start
Why
yelling.
would you
Don't
do
start
that?
screaming. Don't-
After all that
A
time,
great embrace.
God.
Here comes Daddy.
Daddy's
Come on.
just keep going.
Just
keep going.
Don't.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Ooh, jump cut. Oh my God.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
Oh, Nick is right. Jack Nicholson's right in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Ah, 1921. Yeah. Ooh, what a twist.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my God.
What a
Wow.
twist.
I guess so.
Huh.
Oh, that's bizarre.
That was so weird. Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Whoa.
God.
What?
Huh?
Even with him dying at the end, being frozen to death, and then they twist with that. Like,
Yeah,
that's
Crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I am glad that we all assumed that the whole family was going to go, and then he was going to probably kill himself. But
Yeah.
that was
Oh
a
my
that was a
God.
good twist that they finally got away from him.
No, you thank
So many
goodness.
questions. Yeah, I really thought everyone was going to die at the
Yeah.
end, and I was just kind of accepting that at that point. But the build up to everything,
Oh
like, you
my
knew it was going to be
God.
bad, but like the beginning seemed pleasant, and he didn't seem to have like a great relationship with his wife anyways. You know,
Yeah,
like it seemed
yeah.
okay, but there wasn't anything like lovey-dovey or,
Yeah.
you know, but they've been
Yeah,
married.
it was
a while.
just it
Yeah.
was just like I have to do this. I
Yeah.
want to change. I want to write a book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
And it seemed like she was a really great reader. I mean, all over in their apartment, she had stacks of books everywhere. And
That's
then
right.
here in the hotel, I didn't see too many, like, that's what she would be doing to
Yeah.
occupy her time.
Yeah.
But apparently she had other stuff to worry about than
Yeah.
Oh
just
my
reading.
gosh, I guess so. God.
Yeah, she was like the,
Poor-
I'm going to label and say typical housewife back then, you know,
Yeah.
where she provided for her family with like feeding them and doing like household
there for
chores
them, very-
and stuff.
Yeah.
Because she was always very good at making sure he was fed and,
Oh, yeah.
and very
she-
meek, you know, in a way.
Definitely
Yeah,
very
definitely,
meek.
yeah.
And
She did survive, and you know,
and she
her and her
covered
son
for
got
him
out. That
for
was good.
hitting,
Oh,
for
okay.
hurting the son.
When she told the story about the dislocation, I was impressed that she kind of was like, oh yeah, he didn't really mean it. And then immediately I was like, oh, maybe he was abusive and, you know, he was drinking. And I know accidents can definitely happen, but
Oh, absolutely.
it kind of just
but
makes you wonder,
this
like,
didn't happen.
oh.
Yeah.
So going back to the ending real quick, like, holy crap. So I started thinking that he's in human form, but he was there back then. So he was the original caretaker, yeah. And
Yes.
so did he come back or was reincarnated as this guy, and so he was drawn to this place, and that's why he was so obsessive? Like the other story of the other guy dying, I believe that did happen, but was that really him and his family all along? And just, I don't know, probably not.
It
that
must have
much.
been because the girls had an English accent too,
Yeah.
That's true.
and
I don't
then
know.
the woman
yeah.
looked kind of like, she was older, like his
Yeah.
age.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can tell after she changed over naturally.
Oh my God.
I don't have any memory of that. That's what Grady was saying.
Maybe
I
it
don't have
didn't
any
happen
memory of
yet.
Yeah.
Like he knew
Oh,
about the
maybe.
story, like
Mhm.
Jack knew about the story, but Grady didn't
geez.
do it yet.
Yeah. So maybe that story did actually happen, yes. And then The Shining, or you see Jack Nicholson's face right now.
The haunting.
The haunting.
Jump to a scene.
But maybe that did happen with Grady's family, yes. But I feel like maybe Jack was actually reincarnated, and so he was drawn to this place. And
I
maybe
think
that
so,
would
too.
explain.
Because he said when I was
Yeah.
driving up here, I was compelled. I I was meant to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he gets so obsessed over it.
Yeah,
And the son, too, like, that was really weird with Danny, where he was possessed. It wasn't just an imaginary friend. Like, he had this, like, demon inside him, or this person inside him. So maybe with his father being reincarnated, we'll just say, as this demon guy that's obsessed with this hotel, that maybe Tony was there to kind of protect.
He was totally trying to warn them.
Yeah.
And right from the beginning, from brushing his teeth in the apartment, he didn't want to go. He had a gut feeling he didn't want to go.
Yeah, and he had that vision of the blood in the elevator.
So he was having feelings right off the bat, and Tony slowly was coming out more and more, telling him, you know, I have this shining, which the cook told him about.
Yeah, poor Nick. That was so sad. I know. Of course, we really liked him, and he went all that way just to freaking get
he was
murdered.
in sunny Florida.
He took a plane over and then a freaking snowcat over. He drove 5 hours.
I really
and then
am surprised that no one went with him.
Yeah, or he
like even his buddy at the gas station. Like, I would have went. You know,
I always hear jokes about horror films that, you know, like, it's always like the worst kind of scenario. You just don't think clearly.
Right.
But yeah, it was
like
really
even when the kids saw the two
there.
girls, like I would have booked, man. I wouldn't have just stayed there and just got on my wheel. My little bike. And
I know nowadays with horror films, and again, I don't watch horror films because I get too scared. And I know we try to watch some, or at least I do with like Lee and stuff when we do reactions. But I just can't stay in the room. I freak out too much. But nowadays, I feel like everything's more in your face, and it's more about like how much we can disturb you and show you graphics.
This was totally the opposite, really.
Yeah, like we saw blood,
suspense.
but more suspense.
2 hours,
just the camera angles and stuff, and every shot was drawn out. Like I felt like they were so long, and even the cross dissolves between cuts, like you would see a blend from one to the next, like super slow. Like everything was super gradual.
Hallways, the kitchen.
The actual perspective of the camera was actually very different than a lot of things we've seen, or of anything, because sometimes you felt like you were a ghost watching the family, and then sometimes you were just Jack watching the family, and it was just weird perspectives. It wasn't the same, you know, and I was always curious on like what this angle meant, and because the camera would linger in certain ways that it made you feel like someone was spying on them.
Right, exactly.
And that was
especially
different.
when she was flipping the pages looking at his quote-unquote book, and
the
then
hallway,
you would feel like, okay, is he right over her, or is something else there? And then like a minute later, then you can see him behind the column.
So sorry guys, the camera died on us, but so we were saying that the movie was really good. It was very creepy, and the angles of the camera were pretty insane, you know, because it was very different from anything else that we've seen. There's so many questions. You know?
I really liked the turning point when Jack got really ticked off when she went in there just to say hi to him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a huge,
he was typing.
Whoa.
He's like, my work. And, you know, get the F out. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, he's changing. And it's only been like, at that point, it was only a little over a month.
Definitely.
And then when he had the nightmare. And she came and she tried to, you know, wake him up. And he was in a deep nightmare, but that was probably his true self trying to fight with the present self.
So that was his real person, I guess, at the end. And for him to go that crazy, I mean, of course, to want to kill his family in the first place and murdering Nick, like, you know, but just mumbling and not being able to make a coherent sentence or anything, like that was pretty nuts.
He was,
and that maze was really crazy.
That was perfect for that kind of like.
So it was in Colorado. So I wonder if it's a real, like, if the hotel's, you know, still in occupancy, if they're still going on. That would be pretty cool to do a road trip.
Yeah, I would never go there.
No, thank you. You can go. I'll stay.
Maybe based on like place or something.
There's no way.
No way.
I wonder.
No way in hell.
I wonder after this happening again if the hotel even stays open at this point.
Exactly.
But there's so many, again, it's a horror movie, but there's so many situations they were in where I'm like, oh my God. And I know they were stranded and it was snowing a lot. There's nowhere really to go. But when your life is in danger, and I know that was her husband, but he was already threatening her, and he wasn't himself, and she was already afraid to bring a weapon with her. I wouldn't have left my son alone.
No,
you know, I would have been like, all right, we're not going to talk to Daddy. He's safe here. He can stay here. He has food and stuff. We'll take what we need, and I would have taken him and called the cops. I would have communicated with them, like something. Yeah,
something. I mean, but they didn't have a radio. Well, she didn't know she didn't have a radio
No, she
until
didn't
he
know.
told her.
Yeah, like there were so many opportunities already with all these warning signs that she could have, went ahead and
Or at least when he
actually
says, "I'm going to
took
bash
action.
your head in,"
Oh
and
my God.
here she is, just slow. That whole
Holding in the
scene,
middle of the
Yeah,
bat, like,
right.
what am I
and
going to do
she's
with
just
that?
she's just so distraught at that point. She's
I
like,
know.
"What do I do?
It's easy.
I'm helpless."
Mm-hmm.
But I would have at least ran at some point
That's right.
in that
Yeah,
whole
she's getting
stair
backed up,
thing.
yeah.
Like turned around and just bolted.
Heck.
But at least she did hit him once. He
Yeah,
did
she
fall.
She
Yeah.
did. And
Oh,
again,
okay.
it's easy to say
Yeah, we're not in that
outside
situation,
of the
thank
actual
God.
scene and be like, oh, well, why don't you just do this? Because irrationally, like when you're
Yeah, but you don't know.
Yeah,
unless
when you're
in it, when you're
scared,
in it.
when
Yeah.
you're
Right.
fearful, like you're not
Yeah,
thinking
that's right.
clearly. So, and she loves him, like that's her husband, and this is all weird and
That's
different
right.
for her, and for him to threaten her the way he is. But
Yeah.
the way he was badgering her, even like you were saying when we first saw him getting
yeah.
spiteful towards her,
Mm-hmm.
it was like a huge jump because I didn't see any like build up towards that where he was getting a little like annoyed at her. It was just all of a sudden he's like, "Can you let me do my work?" And then he was like freaking out
Oh,
over that.
Exactly.
So I was like, holy crap!
Because
But-
and you got to think about it now. His work was just writing that sentence.
yeah,
Yeah.
the whole time.
All work and no play.
Yeah.
And I've heard that so many times. You know where I've heard that from? I know it's from this movie, but I know it from The Simpsons.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I think Homer kept saying that or something.
Oh my God.
And I remember that now because I was trying to remember where I heard that. And of course I've heard it from friends quoting it, but I didn't know it was from this movie. So I was like, holy crap. So that whole novel he's writing.
That whole
That's a
time
lot
he
of
was
pages.
working,
Yeah.
and then he's like, "What about me? What about me and my work?" First off, you weren't even writing a book, and
That's
secondly,
right.
she was doing all the mechanics. She was downstairs,
Yeah,
doing all the
everything, yeah, that's right.
troubleshooting,
Like looking at
and
the
the radio,
manual or
and
whatever.
making sure,
He
the
was
phone
just-
doesn't work. So he really wasn't himself
No,
that
yeah,
whole
no,
time.
that's right.
He was
No.
really part
Yeah.
of the hotel. He was
Yeah.
meant to be there. He was meant to do.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
really started turning more when she started saying, "Oh, well, maybe we should leave early or something."
Yeah,
and then he got really
yeah.
like mad at it.
You
So
don't understand.
mad at her.
You're part of
and-
my plan.
Wow, that was a
Wow.
really good story,
That
and
was good.
I actually really enjoyed it. I don't like horror, like I said, because I'm just a wuss. But
Yeah.
this was like a
So-
better kind of horror because it had a really good story,
Yeah.
and it wasn't
And
about let's
suspenseful.
show
Yeah,
you
very
so much
suspenseful.
gore just
Yes.
to make you disturbed. Like it wasn't about
Right.
that. Like I
Yeah.
think a good story is
You're
better.
waiting
than
for
being
something
like,
to
look what we
happen
can
all
make
the
out of it.
time.
You know,
Right, and they really
Like that.
stretched it out where there's only two victims
Mm-hmm.
that could possibly be the
That's
son and
right.
the wife.
Yeah.
So, you knew they couldn't kill them off early on if he was going to do
right.
it. So you knew it was going to be like, oh no, what's he going to, slowly
Yeah.
revolve into this,
Wow.
Poor Nick.
I
Cabin
know. I
fever
really
guy.
thought.
Yes, yeah.
I really thought one of the cops was going to end up going there, and I thought the cop was going to die.
He was
one of
gonna
them,
be,
and I thought that was
yeah,
going to be the
suspenseful.
initial, like, oh my god. Then other cops are going to come, and I thought Nick was going to get the boy out, and I thought all three, of the family were going to die. I thought. Jack was going to eventually, I don't know how he was going to die, but maybe he would have like a stab wound from the wife and she would take Danny and somehow like he would get to them too before he died. I don't know. But yeah, that was
And
different
I'm
than
glad
I
they
thought.
kept him in the maze and they got away without
That's
him
right.
going right up to the door. Like you
I
always think it's going to
know.
be right to the last minute.
Because I thought the key was going to be in Nick's pocket or something.
Yes,
like you were
I
saying.
did too. And I was
So
like,
it
oh no,
really-
can they lock the door?
Just for Nick to go all that way. It was just so sad, and I know that was like, oh, well, he just murdered someone, like, yeah, he's a bad person, like, he's completely possessed or whatever. For him to go all that way was just so sad, because he's such a caring guy, and I know he cared about Danny, too, because, well, he's a good person anyways, but because he has the same superpower, I'm going to call it, like, he has this
that
unique
shining.
ability.
The Shining.
The Shining,
Yeah.
So they can predict, or almost like telepathic, where they can, like, hear things, and
Or at
but
least
they can
see what's going to
on.
happen.
yeah, and even past stuff, they see visions, and
Too
Danny takes it. Sorry,
Too bad Nick didn't see a vision of him getting killed at the end,
Yeah.
threatening.
yeah, I
I'm
wonder
sure
what kind
he
of
wouldn't
visions
have
he
went.
saw. I know.
I mean, too
Oh,
bad.
too bad.
Too bad he didn't see it.
Sorry,
Just before he
guys.
went
Oh,
in.
maybe I should actually call the cops and be like,
Yes,
"Hey, can you
that's
just
right.
like escort me over here,
Or
or
just
can you just
before he
go
went
over?"
through the doors,
Yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
but it looks like Danny has even more power because he actually got a demon in him, or he got another voice in his mouth. So that was different from
Tony
Nick,
completely
right?
took over, I think,
yeah.
at that point, trying trying to protect them overall. Because if he really wanted to be possessive, he would have killed his mom right then and there. Because he's saying red rum, and the knife's right there. I think he was really trying to protect her.
Yeah. When I say possess, I don't mean possess as in he's going to kill. Possess means like to take over someone. I totally agree. I think Tony was trying to actually protect him. Okay. It was just still like something weird where like where did Tony come from in the first place? You know, like for him to have this unique ability to be able to have these visions and stuff, and then this Tony person actually attaches to him. It's just weird. So I'm wondering again, like you're saying, like he was warning him, so he probably was part of that hotel, or still is, and he was just warning him, or, ooh, you hear my ankle crack? It didn't hurt, but I was like, okay. I just literally twisted my ankle and it popped. This sounded bad, but I'm okay. After all this, like, life is good right now. But
well, maybe he gets it from his dad. Something from his dad, you know?
Right,
yeah.
It must be, oh God.
Wow, I know. So at least he's a good kid, and not like he didn't turn into a monster like his dad.
Right, yes.
So what part of this movie really freaked you out? I know there's a lot of parts that were really scary, but do you have a moment that really stood out to you?
When she interrupted him, that's when I was like,
oh no,
this shit's gonna hit the fan.
Mm-hmm. Or when he had the axe going to go into the room to get them.
Ooh, that was a good scene. It was so creepy.
Another weird. Oh, you go ahead.
And about the lady in the bathtub.
Yes. I was expecting when she was pulling the curtains over that she was going to look and make it out, and then all of a sudden, I knew something bad was going to happen there because I'm like, okay, because now he doesn't care. He's making out with this woman because he's hateful against his wife now, anyways, and he's just like whatever. But not to even be like, ooh, there is a naked woman in here who strangled my child, and she's naked, and it's what's going on. You know, he's like, let me just make out with you. But it shows that he's like part of the hotel, and he's the caretaker, and so this other side of him is just taking over.
Right. And then it was weird with the bartender Lloyd.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
In the beginning,
that was really weird. Yeah.
It was weird. Did you guys catch Jack? I probably misread this. But it was weird how Jack was talking to Lloyd, and he goes, you know, you've always been the best bartender, and he was talking about different locations, right? Didn't he talk about different locations? And he was like, oh, yeah, even in here or there.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so maybe this has happened many a times. Like, where'd this Lloyd guy come from, and how is he associating him with the hotel?
That was so bizarre.
Yeah, so he knew Lloyd from somewhere, and I was like, oh, okay, well, there's some history there, and that's kind of odd. Maybe. And then to see all those ballroom people and act like he knows them, it was just so weird.
Just like with Grady when he first met Grady too. Mm-hmm. He was, he said he thought he knew him from before.
Yeah, so here, like, it seemed like the hotel was twisting Jack to be this monster, but it seems like Jack was always like the original person there. Causing all this, right? So
the original caretaker.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say again, a lot of creepy moments during this, but where I got the most chills was during the crazy faces, especially the boy when he was freaking out and his eyes were wide when he was laying down, and just the music on top of that, and his mouth was open. I was like, whoa,
what's going on there?
I mean, again, a lot of creepy moments, but even like the kids, the girls, like, come play with us, you know.
Yeah, and the ball gets thrown.
Once we slowly started seeing like physical stuff happening, where I'm like, okay, they're not just visions, like these things are actually happening, and poor Danny getting strangled too.
That was, and that's weird that they didn't show that part, which would have been a good jump start, you know, like a jump scare, you know, for us. Mm-hmm. But it was good that we didn't see it because it even made it more scary. Like, what's going to happen? What is
exactly
suspense?
I love that kind of mystery, because when you can tell a really good story, you don't need to show a lot of gore to really be afraid.
That whole scene, I have to say, was really scary for her, for Wendy, because here's her husband just had that nightmare, and then here comes the boy coming out, and she's like,
I know, and she's completely not in control of the situation at all. And he was already aggressive towards her and being mean with certain other things. And for him to have that crazy nightmare, and he's all distraught and not normal from that. And exactly. And then the boy is numb and not listening to her anyways. I can't imagine what's going through her mind. And I feel bad because I was getting a little judgy with her character. I mean, I can't even imagine again being in that kind of situation. But how, like, she would just, like, hang out and try to talk reason to him sometimes, and then leaving Danny alone. And But she was really good. Like, she knew what to do. She grabbed a weapon. You know, she had the bat. She had the knife. She put him in the freezer. Not the freezer. I thought she was going to put him in the freezer. And I'm like, he's going to freaking freeze in there. He's going to die. And then, you know. So that was smart that she put him in the storage room. And, you know, then they'd have to eat meat. Because I was like, just leave him in there until the time is up. You know, he'll go to the bathroom in there. Just leave him. But the ghost freaking helped him out.
Yeah.
That is so
Grady
bizarre.
helped him out.
That was bizarre.
That is so bizarre.
It's so bizarre.
Very good. I liked it a lot.
It was good.
I'm happy that the wife and son survived at the end. I thought they were all going to freeze to death, get stabbed and freeze to death or something.
Good.
And smart on Danny to backtrack, you know, on the footprints.
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Oh, I tell you.
I would have died right away. I would have been so like, yep, or I would have just been out of there.
I would have been out of there.
Yeah, if I heard that story about what happened with Grady, I'm like, yeah, no thanks.
Thank you.
I can't believe
and the general manager was like, did you hear about what happened?
Oh, I know. It's like, oh, yeah, it's really nothing, but the whole family died. Like, my husband butchered everybody. Like, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Right. And it's weird knowing all these references from it, but not
Isn't
actually.
It weird?
Yeah, seeing it.
Well, it's like Terminator. When we watched Terminator, I knew.
That was great because you guys didn't even know the futuristic reference of it. Like, you were like, oh, it's like a murder mystery.
The boys were always quoting things and.
I'll be back. Come with me if you want to live. But
red rum.
Yeah, and then the red rum thing. So did you guys know what that meant?
I did. Yeah. You can kind of tell because they kept showing mirrors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It took me a bit to actually catch on to it, and I was like, red rum, and I never really thought about it, you know. But I started piecing it together in this, and I'm like, oh, and I didn't want to say anything, so I was just like, but once we saw it in the mirror, that was very clever. Yeah. When Danny was possessed by Tony and when he looked at his mom and grabbed the knife, of course I was scared, but then when he walked away and he grabbed the lipstick, I was like, okay, well maybe he's gonna paint himself or paint his mom to make it look like blood, so maybe possibly his dad would leave them alone or something. That's like where my mind went first. Then when he wrote the red rum on there, it was still a sign though when she got up and saw the murder in the mirror, like it still warned her, gave her enough time to actually react, but... Yeah, very clever in how they did
that window could only open up a little bit more.
Right?
I know when you're scared, things take forever, and you're just trying to survive. But when she kept trying to go through the window, I'm like, it's not working. It's not working. It's not going to keep working.
The last time, so what the heck?
I would have tried. I mean, what can you find in there though? It's a small bathroom. I'm like, I would have tried to kick that window out, but
she did have the knife.
High. Yeah.
But she was flailing with a knife so much.
Or like stab the window or do something. Yeah. I don't know how you would kick it though. You don't have a lot of leverage there, but yeah, that was no matter what you do in that situation. That was
she would have been dead if the cat didn't come.
Yeah, and then it gets quiet. You know, we left the room, and now the door's all chopped up. Like you'd have to have guts to actually try to leave there, but at that point, you know, her son's outside.
But for her to be running around, Daddy, like you just don't let him go out the window, so he's probably. I would think he wouldn't be inside.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So. Now your husband's in there somewhere.
Yeah. And she was scared for a while where she almost forgot that her son, he might be outside. But again, like fear takes over. And just how she was running around so dainty, like, with a knife like this. I'm like, be secure and hold it sturdy, you know?
Yeah. But he was outside, but then he came back in. Mm-hmm. You know, so.
Nick. I would say Nick is my favorite character. You know, he was a very good person. And
he was so sweet. He wouldn't give up on them.
I thought he was going to be a demon. I thought he was going to be like a bad guy in the beginning when he first looked at.
I thought he was going to team up with Danny. And
he's like, oh, you like ice cream or something? I'm like, ooh, that's kind of a weird thing. Like, he's telepathic or whatever, but he ended up being a good guy to go all that way. Yeah. So I didn't know it was going to be about like a superpower and being possessed. I keep calling them demons because it's like an evil spirit kind of like haunting situation.
Yeah, they were evil spirits.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Shining. So did you have any idea what The Shining meant?
No, I just thought it was a knife.
That's right.
This knife is The Shining.
Explained it, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking actually. The Shining, I kind of thought it had something to do with, again, going with the whole possession thing. I thought it was going to be about like the demonic part, and maybe it was like a dimension or a spiritual thing, or I wasn't quite sure what that was about. But Yeah, so now I'm going to look all this stuff up and see, like, it's something obvious. This is what the Shining means. And I'm like, oh, duh.
I'm surprised they didn't did they make a Shining too?
I have no idea.
Because that would be pretty cool to follow Danny.
Oh, that would be cool.
True, yeah.
Hopefully he's not all messed up now. Like all these visions and things he witnessed. Yeah.
A hotel caretaker.
Wow, so very, very good movie.
Wow. Great.
Thanks for watching with us. I'm glad it's during the day because
my God.
I didn't want to watch this late at night.
Oh my God.
And Jack Nicholson too. Like I gotta actually say, hands down, the acting in this was great. The little boy was amazing though. I'm like, oh my God, I was trying to think.
The wife was great too. In the bathroom scene after Here's Johnny, that was a great scene.
Johnny. That was a really great scene.
She was,
and we all know references from that anyways, you know. But that was a really great scene. And hands down, like, all the acting in this was great. And that little boy kept thinking, like, how much did the director tell him that, this is, like, a really bad scene with a ghost? And for the boy to be that sincere and to be that serious about whatever was happening. And it was good acting. Yeah, the boy was really good. And Jack Nicholson is just so unique. He's a great actor. His eyebrows and just his smile. Like,
and when he looks up, when he's down, but he's looking up. I was like,
it goes right through you.
Like, you're perfect for this role.
Yes. You knew what he was saying just by looking at him.
Oh my God.
What he was thinking.
Again, everything was so drawn out where you just felt uncomfortable the whole time.
It was perfect.
He was so good. Yeah, great acting. The roles were perfect.
Oh my gosh.
And again, not a lot of special effects going on, but we didn't need it. You know? I mean, they had some horrific things, you know, the blood in the elevator, but other than that, like, you know, it was pretty much
even like the intense scenes of just Danny going around with the bike. Like, you
that
didn't
was
know.
really
I know. And it was behind him.
That was a really cool thing for him to do.
It was. It was always like a yard or two away from the character. I mean, with Danny, and then you go around a corner, so he would see something before you would. So it was like, okay, and I kept guessing. I'm like, he's going to see something, and then he wouldn't. And the music too was crazy because
that music
you had
right
like
at
was
the
it the strings or the violin, like the and it kept like it really just made you on edge, and you're like, oh my God, and you just kept getting chills from that, and then nothing would happen. Or when Jack pulled the paper out from the typewriter, and it's like, right? Remember, we all jumped at that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so very smart, like very well done how they did this. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Stephen King, he has such an imagination.
Amazing.
I know he, of course, has a whole lot of books.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of movies. I haven't seen any of them really. I mean, I'm sure they're all. There's a lot of popular movies out there, but that was good. Oh my God. So I think we'll end it there. Wow. I hope you all had a wonderful Halloween. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon as always.
Bye.
Bye guys. Here's Johnny.
Yeah. Here's Johnny.
That was good. Really good movie.
Wendy, I'm gonna bash your head in.
I was gonna bash your head in. I'm not gonna hurt you.